This was a travesty. This was a WrestleMania travesty. And it's not because Cody Rhodes lost. Let me emphasize that. I don't care that he lost. I expected him to lose. Because that's what Cena does. He buries people. He puts talent down. That's what he's known for. And he's the biggest hypocrite in professional wrestling at the same time.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Hey yo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. My name is Nick Nightmare, and in this episode, we are going to talk about WrestleMania 41, night number 2, which was a complete and utter letdown. Let's be honest, the first half of the card was pretty good, right? Until we got right to the middle, and then from that point on, it was a steady decline, culminating with that horrendous piece of trash main event for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena will go down in history as the worst WrestleMania main event of all time. And there are a number of reasons for this, not the least of which is the involvement of Travis Scott, and we will get to that in a second, but mainly because John Cena showed up to WrestleMania and does what John Cena does, which is puts on a lackluster bullshit match where I don't know if this is part of the character he's portraying or if it's just him actually being himself finally in the ring. He just looks like he doesn't even want to be there. He didn't look like he had any fucking emotion at all during this match, to be honest with you, and John Cena did nothing but spam finishers and do the same moves he's been known for over the course of the last 20 years. So effectively, he's doing what he promised. He's ruining wrestling because we were free from this shit. We didn't have to deal with his shit. He was gone and we were fine. I don't understand also, one of the other things wrong with this match is the fucking crowd. Do wrestling fans not understand their role anymore? Like, I understand you don't have to be a big fan of Cody Rhodes. Maybe you don't like Cody Rhodes. Maybe you genuinely did want John Cena to win. And to that I say, fucking why? Why? Because even if you were a John Cena guy when he was doing his John Cena thing 15, 20 fucking years ago, he just spent the last 3-4 weeks shitting all over you, you dumbass fans. He disowned you. He wants nothing to do with any of you. His character is effectively shitting on all of the Make-A-Wish stuff he's ever done. Everything he's ever done for any fan, anywhere, at any time. Meet and greets, cameos if he even did those, but he hates you now. He hates you now. And this might be the fault of the WWE's booking, because for a long time, just like what happened with Roman Reigns, the fans just wanted Cena to be heel. And now Cena's a heel and everybody's like, yay, no, dickhead, you're not supposed to be cheering. Even if you hate Cody Rhodes, The Rock just spent a month telling you to go fuck yourself, and that he's gonna take the championship that you love as a wrestling fan and take it away from you. He's told us he's going to spend whatever time he's got left ruining pro wrestling, and you fucking idiots are cheering him? I don't understand it. It doesn't make fucking sense to me. Even the biggest John Cena fan should be like, well, I don't want you to do that, so now I don't want you to win. Because you're supposed to love wrestling overall, over everybody. Another thing that made this the worst match, main event match in WrestleMania history was, as we mentioned before, the involvement of Travis Scott. And it's not so much maybe the involvement of Travis Scott as it is the lack of involvement of The Rock. Where was The Rock? If there was anybody that was going to interrupt a main event championship match at fucking Wrestlemania, it could, should, and would have been The Rock. If it were up to me, if it were up to you, if it were up to the entirety of the WWE fandom, everybody expected to see him. Everybody wanted to see him. I think for this story, we kind of needed to see him because he's the one that wants John Cena as his champion. So he's the one that should have made what happened at WrestleMania happen. Not send Travis Scott. And then you have this guy take forever to get to the ring. He gets in the ring, and listen, credit where credit's due. The Crossroads is not an easy maneuver to take, and he took the move very well. But the guy's like, what, 110 pounds soaking wet. He looked like a midget standing in there next to Cody Rhodes. He's not intimidating. He's not a pro wrestler. He's got nothing to do with wrestling, really, outside of his recent involvement, which has made no sense from the very beginning. And he is interrupting this match. Already, that's unacceptable. Made even more unacceptable by that fucking song. That song that's going to haunt my fucking dreams, and the song that they're gonna, I know, play again tonight, and every time they show a fucking highlight this week of WrestleMania, we're gonna fucking hear, it's not even a fucking word, it's no, I can't. See what it does? That song starts to play, and it just sends me on a fucking, and my brain shuts down because it's in my opinion, that's not music. It's not. Makes me sound like a fucking old fart, but it is what it is. Alright, I don't know Travis Scott. I don't know anybody that does know Travis Scott. Even my nephew doesn't know Travis Scott, and he's in the demographic that this guy's supposed to be bringing in. Give me a break. Give me a break. The biggest sin of all still was not Travis Scott. There was no Rock. If John Cena was going to win, The Rock needed to be the reason. Not Travis Scott. And then he wins, and everybody fucking cheers because you're all stupid. What is going on? Why are we even booing Cody Rhodes? What was so wrong with his championship in the last year? What's so underwhelming? What's so boring about it? It's only bringing the biggest fucking houses the WWE has ever seen. They're making more money than ever. Can't credit that to Roman Reigns. He hasn't been around as much. CM Punk there, sure, he's generating money. Everybody's part of generating money, but Cody Rhodes has been the champion. He's the man on top. He's holding the flag. He's the quarterback of the team, and the company's been doing great. Money-wise, ratings-wise, creative has been better for the most part. What's so wrong with Cody Rhodes as champion? And now we gotta sit here and have another fucking reign for John Cena, and I gotta hear them now for the rest of my life say he's the greatest of all time, because in this fucking moment, he broke a phony fucking record that the WWE made up for Ric Flair. Anybody worth their salt that knows history in pro wrestling knows Ric Flair's been the champion like 27 times. It's an insurmountable number. But just because the WWE doesn't recognize half of them doesn't mean they don't count. Ric Flair will always be the winningest champion of all time. There will be nobody that will ever come close to that number, just like there will probably be nobody that'll ever come close to having a WrestleMania win streak like The Undertaker. It's unacceptable. The whole entire thing. It made WrestleMania end with a whimper. Sure, I mean, we all kind of knew Cena was going to win, but the way they went about it, the involvement of a non-pro wrestler, the non-involvement of the biggest piece of the puzzle, the most necessary piece of the puzzle, the final bitch boss who's too busy in Hollywood getting pegged for his next fucking big role. Is that where he was? No. He couldn't show up for WrestleMania. If you're not going to show up for WrestleMania, don't fucking show up at all. Why would you insert yourself into a main event angle? The biggest fucking show of the year was going to be its conclusion, and then just be like, nah, I don't need to show up, but I'll show up at some fucking random Backlash show or Bad Blood or whatever it was and count to 3 and then go away again for 6 months because I do whatever the fuck I want. I'll show up and ramble nonsense and say promos that make absolutely no sense and do nothing but fucking harm the people that are watching because their brains can't comprehend the nonsense that's coming out of his fucking mouth. And then he disappears again. But when he's needed, it's a goddamn shame. It's a shame, because this had the potential to be one of the biggest, most important matches in the history of WrestleMania. Some of you might still view it that way. Some people might still see it that way. But it wasn't. It was trash. It was shit. And whose fault is it? You can't look any further than creative. Like, who thought it was a good idea to put fucking Travis Scott in this moment? I know celebrities in WrestleMania go hand in hand, but this was the wrong celebrity in the wrong moment. If you could even call him a celebrity, because not everybody watching even knows who he is. This was a travesty. This was a WrestleMania travesty. And it's not because Cody Rhodes lost. Let me emphasize that. I don't care that he lost. I expected him to lose. Because that's what Cena does. He buries people. He puts talent down. That's what he's known for. And he's the biggest hypocrite in professional wrestling at the same time. Because here's a guy back in 2007 or whatever it was, when The Rock came back and got in his face. And everybody's always behind the superstar that's always like, oh, you fucking legends, you keep showing up and you keep taking the main events and you keep taking the titles and we don't fucking need you and we want you to go away. Remember when John Cena did that to The Rock? And now John Cena is The Rock. He is the legend and he should fucking know better. But there's something, I guess, in their brains that goes off once you hit that precipice where you're in that point of your career where it's practically over and you're taking your last bow, that you just want to still be the man, I guess. This story most likely is not over. Hopefully, as we go down the line, it'll have some sort of a satisfying conclusion. But as it looks right now, it looks like John Cena is going to ruin wrestling. At least for the very near future. Until SummerSlam, when maybe Cody Rhodes wins it back and snaps him out of it, and then he goes back to hustle, loyalty, and respect so that he could leave and ride out on his white fucking horse like a hero. I don't know. What do you think? You let me know what you think down in the comments below. The rest of the card was really, really good. Oh, one last thing. I need to ask this. If anybody in the WWE is watching, and I'm sure they're probably not. I mean, that would be very self-absorbed of me to think anybody's truly watching, right? But if it happens that one of you's worked there, please go to the higher-ups, go to Triple H, go to whoever you need to do, and on behalf of the fans, please ask him if this could be the end of whatever the fuck this Travis Scott partnership is. Could this have been the end? He took a crossroads, right? He did a decent job taking the crossroads. Cody got his revenge. Make this man go away. Don't bring him back. Please, we're begging you. We're begging. This kind of shit just ruins everything for everybody, not just for the fans. It ruins it for Cody. Look what kind of a piece of shit Cody looks, like a jerk now. I don't know. That's the one thing I keep saying. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how they could drop the ball so tremendously. And now everybody's online, there's 50-50 discourse. Oh, this is great. And then you got everybody else like me saying, oh, this is the worst main event ever. How could they do this? Look at history. History tells you how. This is what they do. This is what John Cena does. 5 moves, spams his finisher a million fucking times, beats somebody he shouldn't be beating. Just like everybody else. Just like they do with Charlotte Flair, just like they would do with Roman Reigns. They just continue to jam them down our throats and force us to accept them regardless of the circumstance. But maybe the biggest culprit in this whole thing is the fans. Because we made this happen. Right? We had John Cena come back, everybody was all happy about it. Hooray! And he wins the Elimination Chamber and then turns on everybody for an unknown reason to The Rock, which we still will never know, I guess, or we will maybe find out one day. And on we go. It's just useless. Useless. Absolutely useless. The rest of WrestleMania. Let's talk about it quick, because honestly, it's like I said at the beginning of the show here, it started off really good. The first couple of matches were fantastic. First of all, seeing Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania, always a big plus. Okay? But the show started off with the Triple Threat Women's Championship match, which I thought was a really, really good match. And while I was, for the most part, pulling for Bianca Belair because I'm thinking ahead of time, thinking about the future, and I'm thinking about booking, and I'm thinking about having Bianca be the champion, and somehow you make that clash between her and Jade happen for the title. Make it more interesting, give it more stakes, give it more emotion. That was what I was thinking was going to happen. But I was pleasantly surprised with the fact that it didn't happen, and that Io Sky came out with a win, finally getting some respect. She was disrespected throughout the entirety of this feud, and she got the ultimate respect by winning this match clean. And the all 3 women performed over the moon in this match. Some of the spots in this match we've never seen before. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are strong as fuck. Io Sky was thrown into a steel post right before the finish of this match. It was in the most unique way. The best way to describe it is Rhea Ripley had Io Sky on her shoulders in the position for an Alabama slam while she was on the second rope, and then she brought her forward and Io came crashing down just like that on the steel post. It was very innovative, something I've never seen before. And then just as we think Bianca's going to get the win, she hits the KOD on Rhea Ripley, and then out from the sky comes the genius of the sky, Io Sky. It's a lot of times to say Sky, but that's what happened. And she ended up pinning Bianca Belair, retaining her championship, regaining some respect, and she deserved it. It was a great match. Crowd was really into it. Kicked off fantastic. I enjoyed every bit of this. Every bit of it. The Sin City Street Fight. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre fucking tore it up. Tore it up. Tables were exploded. Weapons were used. It was all-out chaos. And Drew McIntyre comes up with the win here, which I didn't call that one. Drew McIntyre has been almost like perennially the guy that's been putting over the big popular babyface guy. But here we go. And he actually gets a win for once. And it's at WrestleMania. Good for Drew. Good for him. It was a fantastic match, too. I really enjoyed it. I thought both guys killed it. Damian Priest came out with the guitar player from Slayer, doing his entrance song. Good stuff. Big WrestleMania moments. Good stuff. I enjoyed all of that. I also enjoyed the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match. Fantastic. I was looking forward to it the most out of everything on this night, and it only disappointed me just a smidge with the person that ended up getting the belt. Dominic Mysterio, not my pick to win this matchup, but it was a very good ending. And the fact that he ended up winning at the expense of Finn Balor gives the Intercontinental Championship going forward a lot of meat to get into storyline-wise. You're going to have the implosion of the Judgment Day. Finn Balor's going to freak out. Dominic's going to go on as the Intercontinental Champion. Guy can't stand up straight, but he definitely can wrestle. And it'll be interesting to see where they go. I was pulling for Penta. I wanted Penta to win. The fact that both Penta and Rey Fenix lost in their WrestleMania debuts on the same weekend is just ick to me. Like I don't like that. I don't like that they did that. I feel like one of the two guys should have at least got the win. If Penta was going down tonight, then Rey Fenix should have definitely won that match yesterday, even if it was just by disqualification or whatever. That's just my opinion on the whole thing. Braun Breaker, unfortunately, is the victim in here, and he did the best he could, but there was no coming out of it with this one. My favorite spot, probably just like everybody else, was once again Braun Breaker spears Carlito right out of his shoes, absolutely destroyed him on the outside. WrestleMania size spear for Carlito. Good stuff. Good stuff. Randy Orton comes out for his match, and then say his name, and he appears. We had Joe Hendry at WrestleMania, and while I did enjoy this, because I'm a big fan of Joe Hendry, and I think he's great, and I appreciate WWE spotlighting TNA in the middle of WrestleMania, giving them a big worldwide exposure, showing them to a lot of people, I thought this could have been better. And I think that's only because of my previous expectations. I was looking forward to possibly a Rusev. I was looking forward to possibly an Aleister Black. They were kind of leaning into the fact that maybe Nick Aldis might actually get a WrestleMania match and have a WrestleMania main event for himself. I mean, a WrestleMania moment, not a main event. We have enough main events. We don't need another one. But they went with this match with Joe Hendry. It was very entertaining. Randy Orton pulled off a good match. He also did the little Joe Hendry pose at the end after he defeated him, giving Joe Hendry an RKO out of nowhere while he pulls off his little, pose he does. Good stuff. Could have been better, but this was good stuff. After this, it was all fucking downhill, and it all began from the minute I heard the fucking the Logan Paul fucking theme song. Because I hate fucking Logan Paul. Had to go back and watch this match because I kind of missed it. And then I regretted it, because now I have to sit here and actually say this fucking sentence out loud. I have to say that Logan Paul beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and it makes me want to throw up. It makes me want to throw up. I know that Karrion Kross was the reason, the distraction. He caused AJ Styles to lose here, because they're having a battle over who has better hair, I guess. I don't know. Karrion Kross changes his fucking target week to week, and tonight he decided AJ Styles needed his help. AJ Styles didn't want his help. And now he ends up in the record books forever losing to the biggest fucking loser on the roster, who's lucky to be where he's at, because it's another thing I'll never fucking get it. I'll never understand. And I hate it. I hate the fact that this happened. I hated that it was happening, but I fully expected AJ Styles at WrestleMania to give this kid the lesson that all the fans want him to get. But we didn't do that here, did we? After this, we had the women's tag team title match with the surprise partner for Lyra Valkyria after Bayley was sneak attacked and pulled from this match. Now, I have a lot of mixed emotions about this, because I am a fan of Becky Lynch. and I appreciate having her back on the roster. But the WWE's decisions on how they book her when she returns from anything, she's starting to give me like Charlotte Flair vibes. This is the second time Becky Lynch has returned at a WrestleMania and won a championship. And while that doesn't really seem like a big deal on the surface, it is a little bit of a hint at an underlying problem with the character, which is she's suddenly kind of become bulletproof. Remember when she squashed Bianca Belair? Nobody liked that. And now this is kind of the same thing. And also, at the same token, she took Bayley out of her WrestleMania match. Now, I don't know if this was always the intention. Maybe Bayley knew going in. But if this was like a last minute thing and Becky decided, oh, I want to come back, and then they made this change, that's kind of fucked up. I don't know the backstage workings. That's all speculation by me, but it's possible that's what's happened. I would have much rather it have been Alexa Bliss, but that's just my personal thing. I feel like she deserved a spot on this card. Or it would have even been funny to see her get Nikki Cross and have the Wyatt Six at WrestleMania somehow. Lyra Valkyria, Nikki Cross now is this weird fucking tag team. It would have been cool. It would have been different. But now we have these two girls teaming up, I guess, because they're both Irish, or what? Becky's Irish and Lyra's Scottish. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Obviously, they're best friends in real life. I'm trying to connect the dots somehow because the mystery don't make sense. And if it, I mean, you're not going to have Becky lose when she comes back, right? But to make her win a championship again, she's never been in the women's tag division, has she? Does it even matter? I don't know. Not that I give two shits that Liv Morgan lost here, but as I said in some of the previous videos on this channel, the only reason this match existed at all in the first place was to make sure that there was a spot for Liv on the card, because I'm sure a bunch of people on creative have a boner for this chick, and that's why she's been a staple on TV for the last like 2 years. Not that she has gotten better, she's improved, the character has not grown on me. I see Liv Morgan and I cringe for the most part, but that's just me. Obviously a lot of you like her and there's nothing wrong with that. My daughter's a big fan of Liv Morgan now. I gotta deal with that, I gotta live with that. It's alright. You know, doesn't really affect me all that much, but it's reality. I'm not an asshole. I like what I like, you like what you like. It's it. You either agree or you don't, and you can let me know whether or not you do down in the comments below. We had Stone Cold Steve Austin show up and drive his motorcycle into the fucking wall, and then some lady fell down and acted like she was run over by a Mack truck, and then that was about it. Stone Cold announced the attendance. He didn't give the nightly attendance, he gave the 2-day attendance, which was like 127,000 combined people over the course of the last 2 days. Good stuff, good numbers, I guess. And then, of course, the show ended with the tragedy of the main event match that I don't want to talk about it. We talked about it enough. I've said enough. John Cena set out to ruin wrestling, and he has already begun. Just by how everything went down at WrestleMania 41 last night. If you made it this far, you're fucking awesome. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you're here for the next one, because we're doing pay-per-views all the time. We might even do a review of the Raw after Mania if I find anything newsworthy to talk about. So keep your eyes peeled, stay subscribed, stay notified for all of that stuff. My name is Nick Nightmare. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show WrestleMania 41 review, but mostly roast of the main event. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you guys next time.